afternoon. Welcome to the Fort Bend Voter News Meet the Candidate interviews. My name is Denise Joshua Fleming, and I'm on the editorial board of the Fort Bend Election News. Today, we have a new candidate with us. Would you please introduce yourself and tell us what office you're running for and why you're running for office?
Hi, my name is Attorney Tony Wadhawan, and I'm running for Judge of County Court at Law Number 2 here in Fort Bend County. And I'm here asking for your support. I have the opportunity of being the first Asian male elected to a judicial bench in Fort Bend County, but I cannot do that without my community. That's why I'm here asking for your support. Let's make history together. I'm a Fort Bend brat. I've been here my whole life, first grade through 12th. I was the first class to graduate from Walker Station Elementary, first class to graduate from Garcia Middle School, and second class to do all 4 years at Stephen F. Austin High School. I am Fort Bend. Help me bring true diversity to the bench. As a criminal defense attorney, I've gotten to spend a lot of time in our county courts, and it's because our county courts are so heavily weighted in criminal law. As someone whose firm has been set up like our county courts, I've gotten to see how our county courts work, and unfortunately, I haven't always liked what I've seen. But that's what we need. We need somebody on the bench that can review these cases on a case-by-case basis and apply discretion, balance, and fairness where it's appropriate. We do not need a judge prosecuting from the bench, and that's the quality I hope to bring to our bench. I'm Tony Wadhawan, and I'm asking for your help. I'm asking for your support to help me get to the bench in County Court at Law Number 2 in Fort Bend County. Thank you very much.
Tony, we appreciate you being here. Running for judge is a critical position that most people don't understand. We say we want an objective, impartial court, but yet we select our judges through a very rigid, segregated primary process. Do you have any recommendations of how you would reform that process, or what are your views on how we do select through that process?
You mean our election process?
Yes.
I believe our election process is done properly. We have an election process where our society, our citizens, get to make the decision of who they want to see on the bench. I understand why associate positions may be appointed by the judges for those courts. However, I appreciate the fact that our judges on the benches have all been elected by the citizens, our voters, those who matter, those whose voices need to be heard.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning. My name is Daphne Jack, and I have a question for you referring to the justice system. What are the biggest changes that you think we need for our justice system?
Well, as a criminal defense attorney and now a judicial candidate, one of the biggest changes and challenges that I see in our court systems is the lack of equity. We have an imbalance when it comes to the way our laws are applied to similar cases but different defendants. This is why I say it's very important that we have someone on the bench that can review these cases on a case-by-case basis and apply discretion, balance, and fairness to achieve equity.
Thank you.
So you just mentioned reviewing cases on a case-by-case basis. Considering the backlog of cases due to COVID, how would you meet that challenge?
Well, I believe our court systems are actually doing a good job of it. When cases are getting to a certain point, whether they're 6 months old, 200 days old, et cetera, judges are making these cases either plea or they're setting them on the trial docket. And that's what's got to happen. We've got to move these cases forward, and we've got to get them to trial, or they have to be settled. If there are pieces of evidence that are missing, either the prosecution has to move forward without it, or they have to get it as quickly as possible and get it to our defense. Defense needs to be prepared. I understand that COVID has caused a backlog, and some people haven't been able to get to their offices to work on things properly, but at the end of the day, we have had the opportunity now, as a criminal defense attorney who has several cases in our county courts. I've always ensured that I'm up to date on my cases, I'm ready to move forward, and I leave it up to the court to tell me what they're ready for me to do, whether that be a reset and I got a little more time, or it's time to suit up and get into trial.
Okay. Last question. If you're elected, what will be your top priorities?
My top priorities for this court are the juvenile system and the veterans court. Okay, right now we see, I have spent my career fighting against the overzealous assistant district attorneys that like to do nothing more than put our young juveniles of minority status in jail and throw away the key. That is what I've spent my career doing, and that is the understanding that I want to bring to the bench. Okay, at the end of the day, a criminal defense attorney's job is not to relieve those of their responsibility when they are guilty of a crime. It is our job to ensure that the evidence is there, elements are met, and when those things do happen, we have to ensure that the punishment is just. That's what a judge is supposed to do. Ensure that the evidence is there in a case, make sure the elements of the crime are met, and ensure a just and fair punishment. And that's the quality I'm going to bring to the bench. In addition, this is the Veterans Court. A lot of people don't talk about that. County Court at Law Number 2 is the Veterans Court in Fort Bend. The reason why a lot of people don't talk about that is because we have such stringent requirements to get our veterans into these programs that defense attorneys have stopped using it. And now we have a rush of amazing young defense attorneys coming in that aren't even learning about this program. Now, luckily we have seen a little bit of this stringency release, but when I get on the bench, I'm very fortunate. I have great relationships with those who are in power over these programs. I plan on speaking to them about releasing some of these stringent requirements. And the reason why I say this is these programs that we have for our veterans and the treatments that they receive, the drug and alcohol treatment is not regular drug and alcohol treatment that we see in our regular probations. These are geared towards our veterans with PTSD and other disability and addiction problems. So that's why I'm running for County Court of Law Number 2.
Okay, and in closing, what would you like your closing statement to be?
My closing statement to my supporters would be, please, I implore you to look at my experience. I've spent my career in these county courts. I'm very passionate about what County Court at Law Number 2 has to offer. One, our juvenile justice system. We've seen a horrible pipeline right now from our school system to the judicial system. That needs to stop. And that's only going to stop when we educate our youth over incarcerating our youth. And that's something I want to bring to the bench. In addition, this court, like I said, is the Veterans Court. That's important. And when I get to the bench, it's going to stay the Veterans Court. I ask for your support, and I ask you to help me make history. I have the opportunity of being the first Asian male elected to the judicial bench. I promise I will not let you down, and I understand that when I do get on the bench, the huge weight I have on my shoulders to carry with me. I ask for your support. Early voting is February 14th through the 25th, and our primaries are March 1st. Get out there early. No one wants to wait in those lines on March 1st. February 14th through the 25th. Get up, get out, and vote. And when you do vote, vote for me, Tony Wadhawan, for Judge of County Court at Law Number 2 in Fort Bend County.
Thank you, Tony. We appreciate your time.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys having me.